Meet me. All right, boys. So many of you guys have asked for this, and it's finally happening. It's time for the inaugural episode of Dr. Squirrel's account reviews. So today we're going to review LaLisa xoXO's account. He says he's a mid-game player. He's actually ranked 70, so he's been playing for a while, and looks like he doesn't do much RTA. And in Arena, he is Masters, which is a pretty low rating. But we're going to go ahead and go through his entire account. So the first thing I want to do is let's see if he's an F2P player. So it looks like he is buying the monthly packs, but it looks like none of this other stuff is purchased. So it looks like he's definitely not a whale. I mean, who knows? Maybe he bought stuff in the past. If you ever comment on my video, you can share more information on that. I'm going to go ahead and collect this for him. Let's see what his Forest of Souls is like. We're just going to do these annoying tasks for him. So there we go. High command. I'm too lazy to do that. So let's see what his resources are. So right off the bat, looks like he's kind of gold starved. He has way too much energy. So Nick, man, you got to use your energy. That's going to stunt your progress. Sky Stones, he's doing pretty well there. He definitely has enough to pity the next hero. Bookmarks, he's doing pretty well on Mystics. Um, he's very far from pity, but that's pretty normal. And the next thing I want to do is look over his account journal real quick. So it looks like he is missing a lot of heroes, but that's fine. We're going to go over that soon. And in terms of MLs, he has Last Rider Crow, Fallen Cecilia, Champsy. He's missing a lot of core ML5s, but he also has a few really good ones. I mean, ML Crown FCC are some of the best ones out there. So two, three, looks like he has four ML5s. Spez is pretty good. Maid Chloe has fallen off, but still considered solid. So let's check out his PvE status here. So Abyss, he's on Abyss 92, so definitely mid game. Abyss 90 is pretty hard though. That used to be like the last level. So once you get to like Abyss 100, I'd say you're solidly like mid late game. And his hunts, he's never done Wyvern 13 before, and he's rank 70. So that would be bizarre to me. So we're going to check out his hunt team later. But first, let's go over his heroes, and we're going to review them one by one. So Surmia, obviously, like if it's not geared, I'm going to ignore it and assume he doesn't use it. Let's check out his ARAS. So this is definitely not a good ARAS build. And again, Nick, I hope you comment on this video when it goes up so you can explain if I'm wrong about stuff. This ARAS, at first the stats looked really good, and then you look at this and yeah, the speed is way too low. Most adventure Razes at the high tier are around 240 to even like 270 speed. Um, they don't usually have effect resist. You can, that's okay for knights, but usually the benchmark is about like 240 plus speed, like 20k plus life. Sometimes a lot of players will even let it dip below 20k, and they want at least like 80 to 90 effectiveness so those defense breaks land. So this is a super tanky, slow ARAS, but that's usually not how he excels, so you should probably change that. And this artifact, it's okay, but normally they'll be on Aureus or Adamant. Not geared clearly. Not geared clearly. Let's check out the FCC. 1600 defense, 26k life, almost 200 speed. This is a very solid FCC, so not the greatest, but at the same time, there's really nothing wrong with it. The effect resist is kind of too low to be really useful. Like the way I see it, if you're going to be under 100 effect resist, it's kind of pointless for the most part. Maybe even put it into effectiveness or more speed instead, assuming that the gear allows it to. You can easily push this over 200 just by getting a decent boot that he can actually reforge. But I would say this is a very solid start for an FCC. Is it MOLED? Pretty MOLED, and it has imprints. This is a very good FCC, no problem with that overall. Kron, it's not fully awakened. The Mola situation is good. Let's see. It's on attack set. Not the greatest Kron. I mean, Like if this was on counter set, this would be okay, but the crit chance is way too low. The crit damage is kind of low. The attack is pretty solid. I think he must have a lot of like health subs on his gear. Yeah, like 16% health, 12% health, 15% health. Six, like too many health subs. So it's really cutting into the damage this K-Ron can do. Usually K-Rons are on speed set or counter set, and they have way more damage than this even on an offset. So for an attack set K-Ron, this is actually quite weak. Misty Chain. I don't know much about Bellona. I don't use her much. These stats overall look okay. Oh, it has a lot of effectiveness. Maybe that's. I feel like if you dump the effectiveness, you could get these offense stats more. But again, it's Bellona. Not many people use her. This Commander Lorena is pretty decent because it's. I'm assuming this is just for PvE because who would use Commander Lorena outside of PvE? So for a PvE Commander Lorena, if you're just trying to do PvE content, I think this is perfectly fine. It's probably better than the one I used to clear all the Abyss floors up to 100. Seedom not built. Tamarin's stats literally don't matter. This is perfectly fine. My Tamarin is trash, and I use her on all content because you don't use her in PvP. So in PvE, you can basically get away with any stat. Tyranno Guard not built. Luna not built. Furious not built. So what is built? Fairy Tale Tenebria. So it's only level 50. So this is obviously not a great one. It's way too slow for these stats. Like, but it's also level 50, so it's hard to say. So I think the main thing I would say, because we're already done with all the heroes, is there's just not a lot here. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13? Wait, no, this is level 5 too. So 12 6 stars at rank 70. So, Nick, bro, I think you got to do more adventure and get more dogs. What's your dog situation like? You don't have any 5 star dogs. You have a lot of fodder, so it looks like you are doing some adventure. And what do you have on the bench here? Like, you don't have Lilius built. You don't have Spez built. That's kind of okay if you're not taking PvP too seriously. You don't have your maid Chloe built. Last Rider Crow isn't 6 starred yet. Landy? Oh man, so honestly, in terms of this account, you have the heroes. You have the heroes to succeed here, but it looks like just a lot of them aren't built, so it's weird. And I think part of the problem might be this, man. Like, why are you so capped on energy? So this is a problem. Like, if you don't have time to play, this might screw you. But what people do is collect energy. When you collect too much energy, you can't regen energy, so you're essentially wasting. And you didn't buy these yet. But remember, in Epic 7, energy is progress. Energy is directly equivalent to progress. So if you're not using all the energy you have, like for me, you might be throwing money away because you have these monthly packs to get energy, but then you're capped. So all the extra energy you get from paying for those packs, you might be burning it just by not regenning it. Like you won't regen anything because you're overcapped. Looks like you have plenty of mailbox energy, so really the main thing you have to do is 6 star more heroes and then grind. So I need to see this Wyvern team because this is the thing I think you really need to focus on. So you've never done Hunt 13, so I'm going to assume that you can't. So let's check out your Hunt 12 team. So what is it? General Purges Alexa Luluca Furious. That actually doesn't look like such a terrible team, except your Alexa doesn't have gear. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a look at this Wyvern team real quick. Because really, any account that can't do Wyvern 13, my immediate first advice is drop everything and focus on being able to. Wait, what is happening? What is happening? I'm messaging the guy asking him if he's okay with me changing some of his gear around because um, this Wyvern team is making me very sad. So I don't know how he even does Wyvern 12. uh, All right, so I just messaged a guy and I literally asked him, "Do you mind if I change some gear around?" And he said, "Absolutely," because I don't know what's going on here. This clearly is not a functional Wyvern team. And guys, before you build any other hunt team, let's see if he's focusing on some other hunt. He's not, so he's his highest progression. He hasn't even done this hunt yet, which is fine. This hunt sucks ass. But everyone needs a Wyvern 13 team. He's actually the highest ranked person I've ever seen, rank 70, that doesn't have a Wyvern 13 team. So, again, for all new players out there, the number one thing you have to focus on is Wyvern 13. So, give me 1 second. I'm going to try to move some gear around and see if we can fix this up. All right, so I tried to build a Wyvern team for him with what I could see. Initially, I had Furious instead of Terranor Guard, but Nick, your Furious does not have Mola in the S2. You put way too many Molas into the S3. So he was only defense breaking every 3 turns, which makes him unusable. My recommendation to you, man, is save up Molas, Mola the S2 on Furious, and then drop him in place of the Terranor Guard. But for right now, defense break attempts once every 3 turns is just not going to cut it. So I had to switch to Terranor Guard. Basically, I put your Furious's gear onto Terranor Guard. And we're going to see if we can make this Wyvern team work. Because that's your main weakness here on this account, man. You need to be able to spam Wyvern 13. And with the heroes you had built, there was a 0% chance you were going to do it. So hopefully with this team, you can consistently do it. Of course, Terranor Guard is a bozo and bricks it there. But hey, let's see if this team can do it even without ideal RNG. Because you know what? That's going to happen. A lot of the matches, you're not going to get the defense breaks that you need. So let's see if it could still do it with some bad RNG. Your General Purchase is way tankier now. Basically, I put A-Roz's gear onto General Purchase. Looks like Alexa's doing some pretty decent damage. Ooh, nice dual attack. Okay, let's see if we can do this. I doubt that we'll be able to kill him before shield phase because Terranor Guard bricked every defense break. I think theoretically, if he landed every single one, this is terrible RNG. D-Alexa does have some effectiveness and she's getting resisted on everything. So I think we could consider this like a worst case run. So if this ends up working, I think you're in pretty good shape. Defense break lands there. Is this? Oh, nice. Way to go, Amomo. I put the Amomo on Magahara's, so I think this is gonna work. This is gonna work. Nice. We got the defense break. We get these nice dual attacks from Amomo, which doesn't do anything. Got some heals. Okay, I think this Wyvern team does work. And I think Terranor Guard doesn't have an artifact right now. If you put him on DDJ, I think this will be a pretty consistent team. So I think this works. So, Nick, you have a functional Wyvern 12 team now. So, what I would do for you is use this and grind Wyvern 12, and then do that thing with Furious, build up Furious, and then if you could get SSB or something, you're going to want to replace a Momo because you don't really want to use a healer in Wyvern 13. But as you can see, we had some pretty bad RNG there, and we were able to full auto that hunt. So let's take a look at those heroes' gear. You can see I didn't have much to work with. The stats are not that impressive, but it works, right? So this is the Alexa on a weird attack set with relatively low crit damage, but she did enough damage. For your A Momo, basically I stole your Tamarin's gear and just put it straight. This is exactly Tamarin's gear, and she was on Idol's Cheer, so I put Magahara's because Idol's Cheer is worthless for that. Terranor Guard, I just stole your Furious's gear, so it'll be much faster if you put like this DDJ on it. Terranor Guard was doing no damage, and look at this. +3, +9, +9, +6. You don't need crazy gear to be able to do Wyvern 12. and general purchase freaking level 50 and just all on free health gear, there's no excuse for not being able to do Wyvern 12, guys. You could see that I just fixed up this guy's account to be able to do it relatively easily, even with pretty poo-poo gear. So my advice to you, man, is you have a lot of gear issues. Let's look at your general gear situation. Like, you don't have a whole lot of plus 15 gear to work with, I think. Um, you have like zero destruction gear, zero counter gear, and just not enough speed gear at all. So really all you need to do to fix this account up, man, is spam Wyvern 12, and your focus needs to be being able to do Wyvern 13 consistently, because basically Wyvern 13 has way better drops than Wyvern 12, but it only costs 2 more energy. So basically every time you do a hunt that isn't Hunt 13, you're kind of being inefficient. But in the beginning, obviously, there's nothing you can do about that if you literally can't clear Wyvern 13 at all. But that has to be the goal. Don't worry about other heroes. Don't worry about trying experiments or whatever. Just focus on being able to easily clear Wyvern 13. My own team is Alexa, Furious, General Purges, and Sigrid. You don't have Sigrid, so you can use Alexa as your main damage dealer. I use her as a debuffer. So you have Luluka, so what you could do is something like General Purges, Alexa, Luluka, Furious, anything like that. You're going to need more damage on your Alexa, and you're going to need to 6-star all those heroes to make it work. But basically, Alexa, Furious, General Purges are guarantees. And the fourth person, just make it some kind of debuffer. I'm not even sure if Fairy Tale Tenebria might work, but it'll be pretty risky because you can't expect the poisons to land. But hey, I think you had did you have Misty Chain built? Yeah, you have Misty Chain built, so you can really do Alexa, Misty Chain, General Purges, and Furious, and that should be fine. Let's take a look at your guild. Let's see. Make sure you're questing aid. Like, I don't know what your guild is doing. They're requesting too many silly things. You want your whole guild to request manager aid claws, and you want to be giving them out. And so basically just trading claws all the time so you can get a lot of brave crests, and then you can buy artifact charms, and that'll really escalate your progress. Obviously, you want these guild buffs. I'm assuming that your guild didn't have buffs up? What is happening? Oh, you can't even buy it. Okay. I'm hoping that's up. Make sure you're doing your guild wars. What rank is this guild? Pretty low rank, but honorable walker. So you're getting 4x rewards, so that's not bad. That's perfectly fine. Just make sure you do your guild wars, get your rewards. I'm not going to do them for you, obviously, because I don't know if you like doing that yourself. Your gold issues tells me that you're probably refreshing this a little too much or not doing enough hunts. So definitely don't refresh at all. I like to keep at least a minimum of 2 million gold at all times in case you get a sick piece pop up. Because right now, if you have something sick pop up, you can't do anything about it. I'm actually curious about your stigma. Do you have a lot of stigma? You don't even have a lot of stigma. I was going to say, if you, in an emergency, you could sell penguins, but I don't think you have enough stigma to do that. So anyways, one more thing I wanted to cover is just to show you the weakest part of this account is the gear, because when I was trying to, I think the perfect example was something like Alexa. I was trying to fix up your Alexa, and I just couldn't find gear to work with. So basically what I did was I looked for attack, destruction, and crit, and right away, like, I'm not going to use anything that's not plus 15, so right away my choices were limited. And like here you only have 4, here you only have 3, here you have a lot more, but I needed crit damage. So basically, I couldn't really do anything without stripping other heroes. So honestly, in terms of progression, I don't think you're doing anything wrong, man. I think you just don't have enough gear. You don't have enough gear to gear out your heroes, and it's a brainless thing to get gear. You don't have to do anything. Just spam this. And my advice to you is do not build any hero. Do not build any hero. You don't need them until you can do Wyvern 13. Your focus is to 6-star General Purges. 6-star him right away because you're going to need him to be 6-star to number 1, help your success rate on Wyvern 12, and also open up Wyvern 13. And then the next step is experiment. You have Misty Chain at 6-star already, so I would put gear onto Misty Chain once General Purge is 6-star, because then you have a 4 level 60 team. Actually, no, you still have the 6-star Furious as well. You could get away from not 6-star and Furious. So then you could have a Wyvern 13 team and attempt to do it. If you can get even a 30-40% win rate on Wyvern 13, I suggest you do it and just eat the losses because it's so much more energy efficient. And just keep spamming it. Keep spamming it. Keep spamming it and improving their gear as you get more gear. And you're going to find that slowly over time, Wyvern 13 gets easier, more consistent. You're going to start swimming in really good gear instead of struggling to gear everyone. Because if you can't even do Wyvern 13, you shouldn't care about PvP. You shouldn't care about pushing Abyss. Wyvern 13 is the thing that endgame players are doing 99% of the time they're logged into E7. That's what you need to be able to do. RTA, if you don't care about it, I'm just going to assume you don't care about it because you haven't even done your placements. That's fine. Let's check out your arena. I've never really seen Masters PvP in a long time, so I don't like. Do you have pre-built arena teams here? You do. This is a very strange offense, but I think that's okay. I think you shouldn't focus on arena offense right now anyway. For arena offense, I would really focus on just building a cleave team. But right now, I don't think you have the gear for it. So just stay in Masters. Just make sure you do it. And again, don't try not to be capped on resources because these tokens actually help you buy a lot of charms. So I think we can wrap this review up here. So basically, my conclusion for this account is this. I think you have more than enough heroes. I think your hero pool is actually sufficient. Like, obviously, more heroes are better, but you have a lot of heavy hitters like Fallen Cecilia, T. Surin, LR Crow. You have Doris, and well, everyone has Doris. Spez is pretty good. You have Diane, you have Landy. You have a lot of super rock solid heroes. Cerise. The main problem is you don't have gear. You don't have enough gear to do anything useful. And the main cause of that problem is that you didn't have a viable hunt team. Now you do. I think the hunt team I built for you is going to be fine to spam Hunt 12. Just spam Hunt 12. Mola your Furious on the S2. Move the gear to Misty Chain and see if that's enough to at least do Wyvern 13 at around 30-40% once you put gear on her. If you can do that, spam Wyvern 13. Your number one goal has to be able to do Wyvern 13. Do not even try to do anything else. It's a waste of time. Don't try to do any of the other hunts. They're also a waste of time. You will always need speed gear, health gear, counter gear. All that other stuff is situational, but every character in the game can benefit from speed gear. So that is my advice to you. So anyways, we're going to wrap up this account review. I hope this was helpful to you guys who are in a similar situation to Nick. Basically, if you got one thing out of this account review, it's that your focus needs to be Wyvern 13. If you can't do Wyvern 13, strip all your characters. Strip building anything that isn't water and focus on building Wyvern 13. Because once you can spam Wyvern 13, that's when you're going to see the progression on your account explode and really take you to the next level in Abyss, in Arena, in RTA. All of that, being able to spam Wyvern 13 is an absolute prerequisite. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this account review. Nick, thank you so much for letting me do this. Now I'm going to go and steal all your personal information. I'm just kidding. I'm going to IM right now and tell him to change the password. So anyways, Nick, if you want to, comment on any of the things I said, make sure you respond to this video. Thanks again. And if anyone else wants me to do this for their account, read the notice that I put on my channel. And there's a channel to sign up on my Discord. Till next time, boys. Peace out.